god, dude, everybody's going in. This is always interesting because like the big YouTubers walk in and now they're paying attention to things I know 10 times more than them about in terms of like my own. It's like, yeah, this is my fucking, like, I've spent 7 years in this game. Like, I know everything. And then I get to see, like, Charlie actually knows everything he's talking about. I have no idea if he's going to know anything he's talking about because Charlie actually played the game. I could tell. I don't know if Ludwig has ever played Overwatch.
I feel like I need to preface this video by letting you all know I've never played a game of Overwatch in my life.
Let's go.
God
This
damn
is
it!
just sad. The only thing we can do is just not spend a single.
Alright, dude. Come on, man.
I feel like I need to preface this video by letting you all know
dude.
I've never played a game of Overwatch in my life.
Pre-watched? How can I pre-watch this? It came out while I was live. 2 hours ago, dude. Yeah, that is unreal.
I feel like I need to preface this video by letting you all know I've never played a game of
That's
Overwatch
awesome.
in my life. Not because I think I'm too good for it or because the game is bad. It's actually the opposite. I think I would like Overwatch a lot, which is the problem. I don't want to get addicted to another game where I'm rolling the dice for good teammates in hopes of hitting an arbitrary rank to justify all the time I spent playing the game.
And in my solitude, I feel as if in my heart the darkness has finally encompassed all that I knew of my emotions. Now I say in here, an empty shell of the man I used to be, devoid of all what makes me human, except there is something that remains. Sadness. I dropped my Taco Bell. Fuck.
Bro, literally me when I drop my Taco Bell, when I get my Chalupa Supreme, and then I drop it. Because you know, if you drop the crunch wrap, holy, if you drop the crunch wrap Supreme, that shit is like a fucking brick. It's solid. It's not going, and nothing's gonna happen to it. Anything else is very sad. Imagine eating Taco Bell. What are you, too good for Taco Bell? What are you, too good for the rest of us? Look at the bourgeoisie members in chat that are like, yeah, I don't eat Taco Bell. Okay, buddy. Okay.
Wow, that is actually extremely real. You know, I take the opposite impact of this actually.
No, this is me with like MMOs. I refuse. Like, people will be like, Final Fantasy is so good. You need to play it. Like, you need to play Final Fantasy. It's like the best MMO. And I'm like, that's the problem. I can't get addicted to another MMO. I will not. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. It's not good for me.
Online multiplayer games these days, chat. You know how I look at it? I don't play PvP multiplayer games off stream because my off stream time, the same way that I was, and this is actually true before I was even a content creator, if I have chill time and I just don't want to be stressed, I can't play a PvP game because I just don't want to deal with people. So what I'll do is I'll just go play a PvE game and hang out with friends instead. And that's why I miss Overwatch, this version of Overwatch 2 so much. Because what he just described though, right? You roll the dice on random people, random matchmaking. And it's not even a matchmaking thing. It's you're just being put with other people in stressful or high pressure situations, right? And so
And the problem is like, you don't know where someone's at, okay? Maybe they've just lost 10 games and in your game they crack. You know, and then it's over. And it's like, it feels so bad to lose a game because someone starts throwing because they're tilted. It feels so bad to like see someone just int over and over again. And they're like, yeah, well, you didn't want to play Symmetra. And it's like, it just like ruins your day. You know, it's like losing, I can take it. I can accept losing. You know, skill issue, I can accept that. When you have someone that just ints over and over again, or they start like shitting up comms, they start screaming at teammates, it's like, dude, I'm not playing this game to deal with this, man. Come on. Don't we have, this is our free time to spend doing fun. Are you kidding me? Didn't you talk about the other day how much you love being mean to teammates? Yeah, once they deserve it. Okay, and League of Legends is different. You know, League of Legends is a skill issue. Overwatch is a team game. Okay? If you play League, you deserve to be treated poorly.
The only
that's-
game like this I can tolerate is Rocket League because the games are 5 minutes. If your team is bad, GG, go next. 10 to 12 games an hour easy.
I
Was in a game last night where I offended the healer by asking for heals, so they refused to heal me.
So stupid.
Sorry to bother
That
you,
with
but
enough
please
rant-
help if you can. Damn no. I think my site account may have been deleted in error. Pepe lost DNM Sedge also. 19 months DNM Wiggle.
Could you DM me on Discord about it? I can send it over to my dev and see. But thank you, Sleepy, for the 19 months. All right.
Random people, and you're going to run into just people who are assholes. And if you run into an asshole when you only have like, let's say one night you come tired, and you're like coming home, you're tired after doing shit all day, and you have like 1 hour to play, and you log in Overwatch, and some guy immediately flames you. You just lost half of your free time of like that 1 hour. It feels lame, right? So that's why a lot of the time I stick to PV games. It's safer.
I already do that with Valorant. However, even someone like me who's not that interested in Overwatch is wildly interested in all the drama surrounding it after a huge announcement was dropped by the Overwatch team today that everyone's upset about. And if you guys don't even play Overwatch yourselves,
And Killed Bear, thank you for the 11 months.
I think you'll find it interesting. It all started with this tweet.
To be clear, I would watch just the Ludwig Mogul Mail video on it. But Seagull knows what he's talking about, so I think I want to hear his commentary on Mr. Ludwig's video.
Which seems, again, so innocent. It says game director and executive
This
producer
is true.
took a peek
It does feel very innocent, does it? They really dropped this out of nowhere.
into the future of Overwatch. Eyes emoji. Watch this segment for the latest on PvE and everything else we have planned. Star emoji.
Do you guys remember when I went live and then you guys said, hey, Seagull, there's a dev stream on? I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess I'll watch it before I go play some Apex ranked or something. I remember.
Good. It seems like a fine thing. Oh, it's just a plan for the year.
And then they talked
And then
about Star
Overwatch
Watch.
legend and fantasy football god Super
Poor Star Watch people.
retweets and says
They're just
okay,
there just
this is
having
what
fun
I'm
talking
getting.
about Star
PvE
Watch.
scraps, talent trees, and long-term progression scrapped, and the only thing we're getting for PvE is archive style missions every once in a while. Epic. What happened to the last 3.5 years? And if that makes no sense to you, you're like me. You haven't played this game, so let me give you some context. And to do that, we have to teleport back to 2019, a simpler time, a pre-COVID time, and a terrible time to be at Activision Blizzard because they had a bad year. It started with them separating from one of their best.
Oh, he actually caught this. Interesting. I was wondering if people are going to talk about this because I talked about this, I think, in my video a while back. Came around the same time that Bungie left.
Developers.
They're around the same time period that Overwatch 2 and the first bits of being a full PvE live service game happened was around this time period. I talked about it in one of my initial videos. I wonder if you watched it.
There's Bungie, which dropped their stock a little bit. Then they had to lay off 775 staff members, despite having an amazing 2018. And then they had all the backlash for firing casters and banning Hearthstone players over their support of Hong Kong, which led to an Overwatch character actually being the symbol of support for Hong Kong. And all that combined made 2019 their worst year in a long time. It was worse than 2018, 2017, and 2016. And companies they like going up and to the right. And this is not that. So bad year for Activision Blizzard.
Oh no!
And at their annual event BlizzCon, where they get
I love Seagull. Do people really want to play PvE in Overwatch? Yes. Yes. I don't know how many people in here actually even play Overwatch, but I was hyper addicted to Overwatch, okay? So like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. People want to play Overwatch. I loved that game. I loved it. Overwatch 1, like, it'll always have a special place in my heart, you know? I've had some of the best friends that I have today, like, through that game. So, like, you know, it's fine. What did I play on? I played on PC. I don't play anything on console. But, yeah, I love that. I love it. I love the game. I love the game. I do. It was like, it was crack for me. It was straight up. It was so good. It was so addictive. I played so much of that game. I was so okay. Anyways, what was I saying? I brought this up for a reason. Right? Yes. So I don't know how many of you guys had tried like the Halloween and the Christmas event Well, I guess the Christmas event wasn't really a PvE, but the Halloween event is the Junkenstein. That was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty fun. And I think that the devs saw that it was fun and they were like, oh, well, people are going to want to play this. Like, people clearly, there's an interest in here. People clearly want to play more of it. And their reason, alleged reason for why they're even stopping updates and production on Overwatch 1 was because they wanted to release Overwatch 2, which would be this like PvE thing that like you could still play ranked, but Overwatch 2 was going to be about like PvE. That's why they said that, you know? Or that was their alleged reason for why they stopped production and like updates and everything for Overwatch 1. And then after 2 years, they're like, just kidding. We actually aren't doing the PvE part. We aren't actually doing the PvE part. Also, like, come on, like, think about, like, TF2. Like, TF2, I thought it would be, like, some man versus machine, but, like, better, you know?
Your wavy hair looks cute, Denims. People happy.
Capybara, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you. What did I play? I used to be, like, a Zen one-trick, but then I got really tired of seeing, like, bad Reinhardts. So I started playing Reinhardt. And then once I started playing Reinhardt and I actually started having fun playing Reinhardt, I decided to learn the other tanks. So I got to the point where I could play every single tank pretty well, except for Roadhog. I just don't like Roadhog as a concept. Like, I know Roadhog has a place, and people like Roadhog, and people be sad if Roadhog wasn't in the game. But I just don't think he's, like, I don't like that he doesn't have, like, tank properties, you know? It's like, I like a tank, like a real tank, you know? So I don't play Roadhog, and then they released Ball, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm not learning that. That shit looks terrible. And then I think I haven't played any Ramatra because I haven't played the game. You know, Hog plays Selfish. I don't like Selfish tanks, so I don't play that. So yeah, I got to the point where I was just kind of like flex. I was just flex tanking and flex healing. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It was pretty good. So yeah, Ramatra is fun. I have seen good like Ramatra gameplay. IMO. But anyways, moving on. Service top behavior, yeah. Yeah. And now, like, ever since I started playing like tanks, now on days that I do play healers, I don't really play the game anymore. But that will change soon because I'm talking to people that apparently did play the game a lot, and maybe we will play. I don't know. But anyways, the thing that sucks about getting good at tanks is that once you go back to playing healer, you get really mad when you see bad tanks. Like, it causes me physical pain to watch a bad Reinhardt. And I'm not, like, amazing. I was never, like, top 500 or Grandmaster or whatever in the game. But, like, watching people make very, very basic mistakes, it's so painful to watch. Oh, it's so painful. Rhines that, like, literally they hold their shield up until it breaks, and then they wait, and then they hold their shield up until it breaks. Oh, please. Dude, when they stand at the choke, like, I can't. It causes me physical pain. It, like, literally, it's so painful. The number of times I was at King's Row and the Reinhardt's like, it's like, go in, what are you doing? Go. The point is over there. Go. Please. Anyways, so now playing healer is really hard for me. Okay. It causes me a lot of pain. All right. Just press W. Okay. All right. Moving on.
Get to announce all their fun things. They started out by apologizing for what they did to the casters and the players in Hearthstone for their support of Hong Kong, and then had a fun announcement.
Yes, we are.
Oh no.
Which was them announcing Overwatch 2. Which nobody expected at the time, and even me, someone, again, who had never played the game, I was like, that's cool. Maybe I play that game. Everyone's hype about this. The video got 20 million views, and everyone was popping off.
Yep. Everybody was big hype. Also, the cinematic was pretty sick.
And they expanded on what Overwatch 2 was supposed to be because no one really
Wow, SI not found. Ludwig, you're going in.
saw it coming, so no one really knew what the goal was of the game. And here is Jeff Kaplan, who is a beloved or was a beloved Activision Blizzard employee and the lead at Overwatch, talking about it.
Actually, people did expect it because it was leaked. Yeah, I didn't want to go into it too hard, but yeah, people were kind of expecting for like a year at that point or whatever.
To lots of you, there's a common request that you want out of Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 is going to deliver on this, and that's for more
This
story
hurts, man.
and for PvE, for cooperative experiences.
Yeah, PvE, player versus environment. You know, the PvP is what everyone knows Overwatch for, but let me get immersed into the world more. That way, when I look up the Overwatch porn at night, it hits a little harder.
Overwatch
And
2 will feature
never shame one of the biggest audiences,
a ton of PvE content.
They kept this game relevant.
They did.
When there was no content.
Oh, the Overwatch porn, like, animators, they carried the game. They straight carried the game, okay? They also basically made it so that Blizzard can never release a minor. Okay? After that, they basically were, Blizzard was like, guys, we can't do it. We can't. We can't.
They made content, I guess.
We'll have a complete story experience featuring story missions.
Oh,
the
God,
first
dude.
of which is called Rio de Janeiro, is also playable in Hall A for all of you today.
All good news.
I
all
played there.
exciting things.
It
But
was
then
cool.
here's a key promise that Jeff makes about the plans for Overwatch 2 and a new co-op mode.
Cannot wait to hear what you think about it. In addition, as you saw, we have something called hero missions. Which hero missions are focused on highly replayable cooperative experience. The analogy we like to use on the team is similar to what adventure mode is to Diablo versus its campaign.
Okay.
That's what hero missions are intended to be. And they're powered.
The original analogy to adventure mode kind of makes no sense because adventure mode is an end game. Like that's people just running around doing stuff. Diablo, it's like kind of weird. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's necessarily. Anyway,
Really cool
keep going.
system where you can level up your heroes, get more powerful, customize your abilities.
Makes sense. Basically, they have a new co-op mode with different replayability features, skill trees. Basically, every time you play.
Also, the reality is that Overwatch had, I don't know how many people know this or whatever, but Overwatch had a very big fan base and audience of people that wanted to play the game and wanted to enjoy like the lore and like the characters without the stress. Like they wanted a casual gaming experience for people who just like, they wanted to play the game, but they didn't want to have to deal with like people getting mad at them day in and day out because of some stupid fucking video game, you know? Because the game is very pretty. It's very optimized. It runs pretty well. I've never heard of someone who like, if Overwatch runs poorly on your computer, you must be playing on a potato, you know? And so many people were like, I just don't want to deal with this fucking toxic PvP environment. I want to enjoy the game. I want to enjoy the non-sweaty version, you know? And so, and they wanted to appeal to those people. They've, Overwatch, like, I think, in my opinion, I'm not like a caster or anything, so like you can fucking tell me if I'm wrong. It was like, it almost felt like it was trying to be the perfect game for casuals and for pros. And you're going to struggle to do both. It is going to be a difficult attempt. So they had to balance the characters so that in pro games, there was no character that was super broken. I mean, even like, what's it called? Like they were upset that like Lucio was played every game. Like literally, I think the first like year of Overwatch League, Lucio was played every game, every team, no matter what. And it's because the speed boost was so strong. And there was no other character that had speed boosting. And but the problem is Lucio isn't really played anywhere else. Because everyone's like, oh, Lucio's not like impactful enough. So like they're trying to like balance these things and it's too hard to do both. You know, Mercy was a good example as well. But like, honestly, I don't even understand why people, were so mad about the Mercy like original res system. Like people who were like, oh, it's not fair that I can get a 5 kill and then Mercy reses them all. It's like, then it's a skill issue. You should have killed the Mercy first, bro. Okay. Maybe you should plan around that aspect. And the character wasn't as mobile as she is now, I feel like. I guess if you have a Pharah, pretty mobile. But anyway, that's my opinion. Okay. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. Okay.
With your friend, it'll be a new experience.
To be fair, wait one second. I like current Mercy. I think she plays well right now. I think switching the res to just one person is good, but I honestly don't think I think the people who they wanted the change because they thought it was unfair to play against were stupid. I think if anything, they should have done it or they did it for the Mercy mains. Because the hide and seek aspect of the character was a little stupid. Like, it was not a fun experience to be like, oh, now I have to pick between healing my teammates or waiting for them to all die. But I also kind of like that aspect because it was like, there was like some mental aspect of it. Because then you could tell your team, hey, just play, I'm gonna res. Just like, don't worry about dying, I'm gonna res. You know what I mean? But then I feel like they made her like, I feel like they removed that aspect of her kit to make her more accessible. But I don't think that they need, I don't know. I don't think they, but I think the changes are better. I liked both versions of Mercy, to be honest.
It'll be fun. It'll make you want to play Overwatch more without getting bored. That's the main promise that he gave at this announcement at the end of 2019. End of 2019. Keep that date in mind.
3.5 years ago.
2020. Nothing really announced. 2021 hits. Big announcement.
He says nothing was really announced because they said they were going dark for a while. If you remember, at the end of 2019, they said, we're going to be going dark for a while. We're working on this game. You will not hear from us for a while. They came out and said that stuff.
Jeff Kaplan, the guy who was on the stage we just listened to, is leaving Blizzard after 19 years. And this guy, again, is a legend. Super beloved by all of the fans and the players of Overwatch and the guy who is leading the game. And so for him to leave got people a little bit nervous. And there started to be some hints that they might have announced Overwatch 2 too early, that they should have waited a little bit. Not just because fans were getting antsy, but because it was hurting Overwatch, the original game, Overwatch 1. They stated that they put too much focus on Overwatch 2 over the past few years to the detriment of support for the original game.
Wikipedia
So
article.
because of that, they changed the release plans for Overwatch 2. Rather than...
What's actually interesting here, and I don't think Ludwig's going to go into it too hard because he doesn't have the background knowledge, is all the Titan stuff that went in behind the scenes, right? And I've gone into that before, talking about how, they had the Titan before Overwatch, and that's how we made Overwatch. And then now, after Overwatch, we're going kind of back to original roots, right? To go back into PvE. So we're just cycle of life here, I guess.
Let's have the game all ready to go and then sell it out to you guys. We are going to release it earlier with just the PvP portion, and then that PvP that we were talking about, that's all like the new fun stuff, will come later. So let's just, because Overwatch 1 is kind of dying because you're all waiting for Overwatch 2, hurry along Overwatch 2. And that's exactly what they did. And a little over a year ago, they launched an invitational beta, and then October of last year, they launched the game itself.
I forgot Jeff Goodman left in mid-22. Lead developer for New Heroes, Jeff Goodman, left in mid-22. Damn, Goodman was awesome. He had a lot of crazy...
They literally lost, it feels like, the Overwatch team literally lost all of the members of the team that actually were useful and actually did good things. Which is really sad. Because the game was good once upon a time.
Heroes.
And the game's launch didn't go so hot. It wasn't the best launch of all time. Now, I don't know if this strategy was necessarily dumb, by the way, before we jumped.
So I wonder if he's going to jump into player counts. Surprisingly, Overwatch 2 launch was insanely successful in terms of player count. If you remember the announcements they had immediately afterwards, even though it was such like a, I don't know, they must have hit like a weird timing, because Overwatch 2 didn't have that much content on launch, right? It was very much like a letdown in many ways. But then we had these massive like 100,000 player queues, and they said they had something, their player count. I remember this stat. They posted a player count afterwards. that was something like 10 or 20 million players in 4 days. Might have been, 7 days or 14 days. I'm not sure which. You can go look. It's the same exact time frame as Apex Legends launch. Like if you go back and you look at Apex Legends launch, remember how insane that was? That was Overwatch 2's launch. Like the same players and the same time. It's crazy.
How bad the game launch was. Overwatch wasn't doing very well after the announcement of Overwatch 2. I mean, viewership was declining throughout this period. They were averaging less for their kickoff events than XQC averages. Look, 50.
Okay. Overwatch League is very different, but we know.
Yeah, leave Overwatch League out of this, okay? Oh. Do you guys remember Overwatch League when was it even called Overwatch League back then? I don't know. When there was no hero limit, and people were running like double Winston, double Tracer. Oh my god, those were the days. I miss that. Was it double Winston, double Tracer? I think double Lucia. I think it was right before Overwatch League. I forget what they called the competitions, but that was like the pro players. That shit was so funny. Oh gosh.
For their kickoff clash. XQC. He's
at
60.
Hanamura point B. Everyone switched to Diva to stall. Yeah.
2K right now. So I get the concerns internally and why they needed to rush out Overwatch 2.
Okay. What Ludwig only knows the surface level, so I'll just say this. Overwatch League is actually an entirely different team internally. They're not even the same developer team at all. They are completely separate. So yeah, that's actually one of the few things that is entirely separate, has nothing to do with that. Yeah, Overwatch League is considered practically its own different company at that point.
And that's exactly why they did it. But the launch did not go great. And here's
Donkey
here's
video.
Donkey,
I forgot about the first Donkey video.
The haters have been calling this game Overwatch.
Dude, the Donkey video was pretty funny. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie.
1.5. I gotta say, haters, you guys are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. This is more like Overwatch 1.1.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he goes into why there's so many problems with Overwatch, but you don't gotta just take Donkey's word for it. You can just go to the Overwatch subreddit and sort by top for the past year, and everybody's upset. Both in terms of what
to be
the game
fair,
offers
usually
and how it's monetized now. And they talk about how the subreddit's in damage control mode and how there's just a bunch of illegal things happening in Overwatch and how they don't give you nearly enough skins for your devotion and how the best days are now behind
Not
them.
wrong, though.
And there is still one hope, though. If you go to any of the threads or any of the comments, there's still one hope that Donkey kind of puts out here.
But now to finally have Overwatch 2 in my hands, it feels like a major defeat. It feels like Blizzard could be the next BioWare. However, we still haven't played the co-op mode, which for me is the main draw of Overwatch 2.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, Donkey, when's your video coming, Donkey? I'm ready, Donkey. Oh no.
For the sake of the fans, I hope that 99% of the development team has been focused on the co-op.
About that.
Here's the thing.
I don't know what they've been doing for more than 2 years with the PvP.
So PvP overall a bit disappointing. It's very similar to Overwatch 1, although fun to play, and I know many people who do play it, and maybe it's balanced a little bit better. It is not a sequel. It is not Overwatch 2. It is.
I don't know about like on the pro level what they think, but I will say on a more casual aspect, because I haven't really played that much Overwatch 2. I think I played maybe 5 hours. I like the teams of 5 more. I think it's a little sad because I liked having like 2 tanks because you could have like tank synergy, but I think I like it. I think I like 1 tank. I think it plays a little bit different and I think it plays better. Like it feels like before it used to be that like you would kill a tank and then they still had another tank and it was like, "Oh my god, please just how is this fight still going?" You know? And as a tank player, I do miss having a second person in there in like the front line with me. But on the other hand, I have always hated when the enemy tanks have like better synergy than me and my tank duo or whatever. Like me and my, not duo, but like other tank pub or whatever. So you know what? I will say, I do think it's like, it's a different play style, different time of like different game. But I do like that like the games are easier to carry, right? Because you are playing a 1v9 instead of a 1v11. You know, the tanks are, there's less like front line technically. They made all the tanks tankier and then they reduced the size of it, but it's still pretty fun. I like it. I like the difference personally. I don't know if it's an objectively was the correct decision or what, but I liked it.
Just an update to the original game, and
Yes.
PvP or PvE, excuse me, is the thing that everyone is excited for. And that brings us to today and why their announcement was so bad. So let's take a look again at this tweet with the eyeball and the star emojis, and then take a look again one more time at the skill tree promised, right? This is the hero mode with the
Oh, it's not just the skill tree though. It's a talent trees in conjunction with elemental damage types, players creating builds. They had power progression systems. That's the foundation to a PvE looter shooter, right? Not even just looter shooter, PvE games. It doesn't have to be looter shooter. It could be stuff that's not even specifically based on loot. You get the idea, right?
skill tree, super
Also guilds. Sorry, did I say guilds? I said builds.
huge replayability. Now let's watch it together.
Oh no!
And so we're left with another difficult choice. Do we continue to pour all that effort into PvE, hoping that we can land it at some point in the future? Or do we stick with this set of values that we've aligned on and focus on the live game and focus on serving all of you?
Now, this is the executive producer who prefaced this by saying running Overwatch 2 PvP by itself is very difficult and we want to do a good job, but we don't know if we can do a good job and do PvE. And so then he drops his bomb.
With everything we've learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that you deserve, it's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees, that long-term power progression. Those things just aren't in our plans anymore.
Yeah, I appreciate Ludwig's,
and
he is doing a pretty good job catching and summarizing everything. It's gonna, dude, I'm so...
We know that this is going to be disappointing to many of you, which is why we wanted to bring it up before we talked about the roadmap. And to be perfectly honest, it's been really difficult for many of us and a lot of folks on the team who've poured their heart and soul into that stuff.
Dude, the guy on the left, I don't know what's going on. This guy is so airbrushed. He's got like no pores. My man's looks like he has never had a pore on the planet. Just it's insane. Insane. I don't know what camera settings he got, but like send it over, man, okay?
A lot of folks on the team who've poured their heart and soul into that stuff.
Now, I do not envy being a developer, ever. Even in the best of times,
especially in this case, by the way, because Jared recently started working on Overwatch 2. Jared, I think, has only been working on Overwatch since maybe, you know...
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like a PR move that they sent like a newer person in to make this announcement because they didn't want people to get upset at like older people or whatever, right? I don't know for sure because I don't work for the company, but I totally believe that that's possible.
An Overwatch one, pretty confident. I'm pretty sure he wasn't. So imagine being the guy who's got to deliver that news. That's tough.
People who are just dogging you for more and more and more. But this is just a simple lack of hitting expectations. Expectations were set and expectations were failed to be met. And that will make people upset, and I think justifiably so. But that's the huge bomb. All the PvE, all the things that Jeff talked about on stage that we watched together are not happening. And so where the PvP experience was a bit of a disappointment because it didn't feel very different from Overwatch 1, the PvE is not even going to happen anymore.
I will say PvP is definitely an improvement for any hardcore Overwatch player. I will say this again. I will give them credit where they deserve it. Thank fucking God I don't have to go against Double Shield every game. I would have never reinstalled this game. I would have quit and never come back if I had to play against Sigma Orisa on ladder or Sigma fucking Road Dog. You get the idea.
They said they'll have some story-driven things that might occasionally be canon, but it'll be somewhat like seasonal, kind of like they've done in the past, as opposed to the much larger plan that was in place before. And that's where Overwatch is at now, which is sad, you know. And maybe
it
you
is
can
sad.
think to yourself, oh, well, I'm glad I am Team Valorant or still playing TF2 for some reason because it's really fun. I don't know.
Team TF2. No one. See, what Ludwig does understand is the sad thing about my genre is it's fucking dead. No one makes games in this genre. There's Overwatch and there's nothing. The last game in this genre was fucking TF2 in 2007, and then I got Overwatch beta in 2015.
Don't worry, guys. We have Paladins.
That's it, boys. I got Paladins, I guess. Yeah, okay. Paladins. Okay, yeah, I forgot about Paladins. That technically... Paladins was 2016. That's also... Like, what do you mean? This genre is dead. It is not extremely popular.
I didn't like Paladins and I thought it was trash. And then I played a couple games and I was like, you know what? This game actually, it's fun in a really stupid way. Like, it's really fun in a stupid way.
Every fast-paced FPS that comes out dies in like 10 seconds. You guys remember Hyperscape? You guys remember fucking Battleborn? You guys remember Lawbreakers? You guys remember Gundam Evolution? And let's just being honest. At least they can get servers though. Okay? At least they're getting servers. That's not. At least it's playable. Okay?
What you guys play. But I think it's just sad for the people who enjoyed this game because I know a lot of them personally. Even my editor, Shake Drizzle, I think is like a paper 2 Overwatch player, and he loves playing that shit every night. He'll even be late on edits just to play that game.
But they can't cancel Overwatch porn.
It's true. We still will always have Overwatch porn.
A little more, and now he can't have fun co-op with all his friends. Sad.
Very
Wish they
sad.
did a better job over at the Activision Blizzard, but I think this was a lot of internal pressure from higher ups to deliver on a product and overhype a product to get them out of a tumultuous time, which led to disaster for the game itself.
That I disagree with, actually, because there's a lot more in-depth stuff that we went into talking about how they originally wanted to make a PV game with Titan, all this other stuff. It's very obvious the developers tried to go back to that core idea and create a very compelling PV game using specifically the talent on the dev team who all were from MMOs and PV games prior to making Overwatch. And Overwatch was suddenly and surprisingly incredibly successful, right? So it seems like they're trying to go back to their roots. And there's more to it than just overhyping. Like, no, they weren't. I don't think they were intentionally overhyping. I think that they wanted to go that direction straight.
Dude, I miss the early days of Overwatch. We'll never get that back, but I miss those days.
Straight up. And then they realized, wait, the business of making this move is so dangerous that we have to double back, especially because we're abandoning our current core audience. And then now they double backed and they go, yeah, about that, all that PV stuff though. Like, yeah, we fucked up. And we can't do it unless we have a whole nother dev team, and they can't make a whole nother dev team for some reason, which I still find ridiculous. So not ridiculous. I kind of understand it, but it would be cool, and I don't care. And I'm mad and I'm angry.
That's all you got to know. So that's why everyone's mad at Overwatch. All right, that's it. See you later.
That was a good mogul mail. I'm glad we watched the coverage from Seagull's perspective. I think Seagull's goated. Oh man, Blizzard can't make games anymore because working there sucks so much they can't keep talent. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, there were so many people that were on the dev team on Overwatch that like they carried that game hardcore. Like they were the reason the game was good in the first place. And then they saw like the shit show and they were like, we're leaving. Like this is not working. Like we're not doing this. They can't make a dev team because capitalism. Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty decent. That was a good video. Mr. Bear. He's so cute. He really does not. He does not give a fuck what you do. All right. It's time.